I was just thinking about the scripture we read on Sunday, Proverbs chapter 8. And, when we got to verse 17, it just made me remember how some people like to take things out of context. Let me read. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently find me. And I find out that some people will just pick, they will just pick it out of context. We're reading about wisdom, when you go back, you will see that it was just talking about wisdom. And then you see people taking things out of context. The Bible don't talk about, he said you should love people that love me, and that is not just, people like to take things out of context. The Bible talks about it in Mark 2:31. He said we should love our neighbor as ourselves. That is from there. Then again, he talks about it that, we should also, in Matthew chapter 5 verse 44, he said, love and pray for your enemies. Now, he now rounded it up. That means that when you start from the beginning, you will then be able to get to the end. He said in Romans 12:20, he talks about that we should feed our enemy, take care of them, do all that they needed for them. Then he now finalized it in that scripture that when you are doing it, you are heaping coals of fire on their head. Now, if you don't start with the former, how will you get to the latter? So the final words there is that we should love our enemy. Now, people also like to take drinking out of context. They will just pick one as she be Timothy self the shark, Timothy the shark. But the Bible talks about it. He said in 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 23, he says Paul was advising Timothy to take a little wine for his stomach pain. Now, if now said it in Ephesians 5:18, said, don't get drunk on wine. So the Bible is telling us that drinking is wrong. Now, talking about divorce, you say, shebi God don't talk and say, make I divorce. So people will just pick things out of context. The only thing the Bible talks about is that we should take divorce, maybe if you find your spouse cheating. Then again, Jesus now talked about it in Matthew chapter 19 verse 8, that the reason why Moses wrote the divorce paper was because of the hardness of their face, the hardness of their heart. Now, Malachi 2:16 now told us that God hates divorce. So you see now that people love to take things out of context without, reading before or going further. Don't take things out of context, because when you do that, you go into error, and then everything will scatter. Think about it.